I did an internship at Twilio. And Twilio was, I guess everyone knows it now, it's SMS messaging API service. And it was interesting because they went to the messaging world before companies like Uber wanted to send text messages. They had to go strike these deals with AT&T and Verizon. And there's different carriers in every country. Go different carriers in Canada. Then what they were really having a tough time was they would go to South America. Then you have to do South American carriers. And Twilio just abstracted it all away and said through a single API, you can go and manage this. Stripe did the same with payments, and those two guys were doing it at the same time, and they had started infrastructure as a service. So the reason I bring that up is that was a really fun internship. And then I go back to, and then I'm at Symphony, and I start to learn about the fulfillment space. And what we see is a lot of the same things in the telecom space before Twilio. You have to go to a warehouse, and all of them had these different pricing, and the pricing contracts of these things were ridiculous. It was like you had pick pack fees, you had order management fees, you had receiving fees that were hourly, and then you'd look at the hourly, they'd give you the hours on how long it took to receive. And sometimes I remember we had a case with Fiji water where some guy was receiving cartons of Fiji water, and then he didn't tap out or clock out, and he went on lunch break for 3 hours, and then he came back in, but you're paying at an hourly rate to receive. So you'd get these crazy increases in influx in price that you would need a team of people to look at to be able to manage this. And then every time you go to a new warehouse, you'd have to do all these new things, paying for space and all this kind of stuff. And it was ridiculous. And so we looked at the pricing, the scaling ability was so difficult. And so I said, what if we built kind of Twilio for fulfillment? And that was the original idea. And one day we went and I mocked it out. This is the paper. I kept it with me. I mocked it out with Harish. And I actually have no idea how I still have this. Somehow it was here when I took my stuff.
I was going to say it's not even framed.
No, it's here.
You could lose that.
It's literally just this piece of paper. And
that's worth keeping and framing.
And so I mocked it one day in the afternoon with Harish. Harish was the CEO at Symphony at the time. And they were running into some different growth challenges. And we were meeting at that time. And he said, hey, what if we try this idea on Twilio for fulfillment? And he said, this could work. And he knew a lot more about the logistics space than me. And we left and we started Deliverr. And so that's where it started. And literally the idea was Twilio for fulfillment with super simple pricing, hassle-free onboarding. Those were the two big benefits. So you would just do the simple pay-as-you-go pricing, which included shipping. No one was really doing that outside of Amazon, just for the Amazon channel. So it would include shipping. So you knew for a towel or whatever it is you want to sell, water bottle, it's going to be $5 anywhere you ship. And you could use as much as you like. You do 1,000 orders a day or 0 orders a day. Anyone could plug into this thing. And so it was designed for small businesses up to mid-sized businesses. And the last element, and this came a lot later through a crazy journey over the next 6 to 12 months, was the element of shipping speed, which we started to say, okay, we wanted to get faster and faster delivery speeds because we believe that was fundamentally where the world was going. Consumers were starting to demand faster and faster delivery speeds. Prime at that point was just blowing through all records. And so we thought that, okay, we wanted to have something kind of 2-day architected, but we weren't sure exactly what the benefit would be to the merchant yet. And then hassle-free pricing and easy onboarding.